right. Hey, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Jeff, right? Where our purpose and our mission, man, is to bring guests in to share impactful information and what areas that we focus on, which is community, health, and wealth, baby, and everything that falls under those three pillars, right? For those of you out there looking to do more in your life, for those of you out there know you're meant for more, for those of you and just need one more piece of information that'll help turn the tides for you so you can find your way to the next level, right? Oh, man, listen. And here's the thing. Here's the hit. It's something I believe that you can take. This information is empowering. The solutions then can be used for you to do what I'm talking about, right? Oh, man, because here's what I believe. And this is just my belief, and I believe it till I die, is that we all have this thing I'm about to talk to you about, and it's the gift of this thing, mastering the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself. That chatter, that yak stuff that goes on most of the time, unmanaged. It's how you see yourself. It's how you feel about yourself. It's what you say to yourself when no one's watching. It's carrying all that old luggage around, man. All the stuff from when you were born 5 to 6 years old, that personality, right? That's running the show. Oh, man, but here's the hit, guys. It's an ally. What do you mean, John? I mean, it's an ally because as you feed it, it becomes. I'm going to say that again. As you feed it, it becomes. What do you mean by feeding it? I mean, as you talk to yourself about change, as you talk to yourself about forgiveness, as you talk to yourself about being worthy, things begin to change the way you need them to. Listen, right? Because it's going to run, and your subconscious is always at work. And your subconscious no longer has to be your enemy. It's your ally, right? Look at your subconscious differently. I mean, subconscious, people talk about how bad your subconscious mind is, your subconscious spirit is, all that stuff about how bad it is. I challenge you to look at it another way. Today, your subconscious, you and I got some things to do today. I'm going to make you change how you see me in this situation where it's brand new for me. And normally I shy away from it. You're going to remember me, subconscious, as the one that stood bravely, faced my fears, and overcame those. And I got to the other side. I won that thing that I was afraid of. Yeah, you and me, subconscious, this thing up here, right? And hey, well, listen, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm known as the Comeback King. And I got that name from people from my early childhood, just like you, have seen me go through things, and with an attitude of persistence and consistency and just being relentless about things that I've decided I want to have. You know, when I find something I want, like a pit bull, I don't let it go, just like many of you, right? So today, I wanted to, it's getting to be mid-year reviews. I want to talk to that population out there that's either working for someone or, in a 9-to-5 job, or you're part of, you're in a private business and you're not sure how you're going to get evaluated, and hopefully they're doing some annual reviews at least, right? And if they're not, maybe you can use some of this information to take back to them and create something for you, because what gets measured gets results, right? What gets measured gets results. It's your responsibility. I'm going to tell you, it's your responsibility to take control of your career. For me, guys, why do I tell you that? I mean, I've been fortunate to be in and around the business community for over 45 years now. And the first 20 years of that was in corporate America. And it was in a time when, there weren't a lot. And I had high aspirations. I talk about it all the time. I wanted to be the CEO of somebody's company, right? After my football career was over. And now I'm sitting here in my dorm room, apartment, I don't remember when, not sure what I'm going to do as a freshman. And my grades, I was academically not in the best shape. I think it was 1.99 grade point. So anyway, I decided I wanted to be CEO of someone's company. How do you get there? Didn't worry about it. I figured out how to study. I figured out how to do all these other things that we talk about. But I made a decision at that point. I was going to go into business. I was going to stay in school, go into business, and graduate on time on the things, right? And I mean, if you hear my story, that's like high in the world. You must be really high talking like that, right? But anyway, I did those things because you make a decision, you get the help you need, and then you go do the work. Right. Anyway, so back to the point of today is that when I did graduate and I did get my job, I was already in counsel with a gentleman who I had worked with during the summer at times, and he was, he was one that was like, "Hey, Jeff, if you really want to get beyond the excuses that people make because they don't get promoted, if you really want to get beyond your whatever negative things that you have around getting promoted, then here's the thing you have to do. Number one, write this down. Write this down. You have to make a decision that you're responsible for the trajectory of your career, not your boss, not your friend, not your mom. Right? You are responsible. So whatever happens falls back on your shoulders. It's not the manager's part. It's not the leadership's problem. It's not the economy. It's you. That's number one. Right? And what that means is that you have to do whatever it takes, uncomfortable or not, knowledgeable to know how to do it or not, failed at it before and afraid to do it again, does not matter. These are all this stuff right here. You got to take responsibility. Right? And yes, look, there's some people that are great at kissing butt, and they just seem to work their way through it. All of a sudden, like that. So taking responsibility for yourself, and then knowing what it is that you want. Right? If you're in a career, and I know it's hard now for people because the statistics aren't favorable for people that are in their current jobs. I think it's 75% of the people are in jobs they didn't go to school for, and of that 25%, 50% or higher don't like what they do. I was fortunate. I went into school for management, business, and marketing, so I'm in that space and I enjoy that. But it doesn't matter what you're doing right now. If you want to get better, if you want to move forward, this thing will apply. And so I want to just leave you with one of the things, and then you have some information around it. You need more information around it. You want to chat, my information is scrolling across there, and I think it's even in the chat. Please reach out to me and let me know so we can have a discussion. I can talk about this forever. I'm fortunate that my wife is in the corporate side, and I've been able to work with her over the last 20 years in this space or more. So I know what I'm talking about. Right? Anyway, so know it's your responsibility. Number two, have a plan on how you're going to do that. What are you willing to do? Right? Know what it is, your responsibility. Identify what it is that you want. If you're in a job and you want to figure out what the next opportunities are, and hey, here's something else. You may start to have conversations with your leadership and find out that you're in a dead-end job. Now what do you do? That's a whole other conversation. I got something for you if that's the case. If you like where you're at and you have been successful doing what you've been asked to do, and you don't want to leave, then there's some solutions around that I can certainly talk to you about. Right? So everybody, this applies to everyone. So know it's your responsibility. Be clear if there's an opportunity that you want, and it does exist, that you begin to let people know. And your leadership, and this is part of that review. Well, it should be. But unfortunately, leadership oftentimes has people in places that aren't really necessarily the leaders that they should be, because no one taught them how to be leaders. Right? They want to be the boss. You notice I say leadership. I'm not talking about being a boss. I'm talking about someone that's a leader who's focusing on making sure that those around me reach a higher level, at the highest level possible for them, and go beyond me. True success of a leader leads from behind me. But anyway, so oh man, it's not too late. It's not too late for those of you that love your job and just feel like you're not getting the treatment that you need to have. You're working with I almost said something about. I don't want to say that. If you're working for someone that fits the description that I just gave you, right? It doesn't really fit as a leader yet. Who needs some training? Oftentimes that's the case. More often than not, people are put in leadership positions as a boss who have done well as outstanding salesperson, outstanding communicator, outstanding thinker, all these things that they have, but they've never been taught how to sit down with somebody. And here's the next point. Sit down with somebody, look them in the eye, and articulate in a way that is confident, open-minded, has a collaborative perspective. confident, open-minded, and has a collaborative perspective, right? Because the other point here is once you know it's your responsibility and you get kind of idea, hey, this is where I want to go, you got it all figured out, right? And then you need to create sponsorship or cheerleaders around you, right? Why is that important? You already know, right? I mean, the name that gets brought up often is the name that gets pulled. Your name's not in the hat. You're not pulling your name out when opportunities come. Right? And how does your name get in the hat? It's because of the leadership above you that does that. So it's not rocket science what I'm talking about. But it's difficult to sit down and look someone in the eye and tell them, hey, look, these are the things that I'm good at. I believe I am. Here's what I need your asking. Here's what I need your help in. Telling me if I'm accurate in what I see, number one. And are there other things that you know or see about me that I need to work on so that they can be removed, listen to me, so they can be removed from that reason for me not to be promoted. Mr. or Mrs. whomever you're talking to, because my goal is to do exactly what you've asked me to do and more. I believe in over delivering, and I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page with all the requirements that you know I need to have in order to be considered. Man, that's a lot of stuff I just shared in that conversation. That putting the onus back on that leader. Oh man, I should do a session. I'm gonna do one. I think I'm gonna do one. How do you communicate? How does all that science work, right? And because then what you've done, you've shifted the responsibility. If it's a good organization, it's easier because they oftentimes are interested in developing a leader. They're leaders, and if it's an organization, if it's your job and it's where you are, I would still do it. Develop, get the practice done because it's going to show up somewhere along your work life. Do these things no matter what. If they don't have an annual review or quarterly review or any type of review, then you maybe you can be the one to help them start it. If you're in a job that doesn't do this stuff, then I would encourage you to ask. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Boss or Manager, if you haven't already found this out, how would I be able to be measured for advancements in this organization? Because I know that I am worth more. I know that I'm capable of doing more. And I'd like to do it with your organization. Are you brave enough to say that? Because if it's a good company and they're growing, they're realizing, I have something I'm missing. Right? A lot of businesses don't do the reviews. They just talk to people. They just, man. If you're not where you want to be and you like what you're doing and you feel like there's some level of disconnect from you and your leader, these tools can help you. And, I just want to just throw it out there. I think I asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how you doing? How you measure yourself? Look, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. And then let me know if those of you that will hear this recording, if this resonates with you, if it's something that you need more of. I'd be glad to help you in that space, right? Because look, everything feeds into how we see ourselves. I think I made a note, class. So I want to review. Identify your desires. Make sure you take responsibility for it. Have a plan to get there. Collaborative approach and thinking and conversation. Making sure you're tying people into it, and then do the work. Right? And there's a whole lot of other things, but those are some pillars that you can set the table on. And then you begin to put other things on top of it. Right? But you want your name to be brought up in the hat when opportunities come. And the only way you're going to do that is you're going to have a voice from that person that you work with, or you're going to have a voice from an association of someone that you met along the way. Building relationships outside of where you work is super important. And letting people know that, hey, I love my job and I really want to go to this position in my job. How did I get there? Speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up. But make sure your cheerleader knows exactly what you're wanting to do. They're tied into getting it done with you. Your leadership knows they're tied into getting it done with you, and you hold them accountable for it. they're not coming to you and it's your reviews, your mid-year is coming up in June, then you need to communicate to them, hey, I'm ready to schedule our time together. And hopefully, if you've done this correctly, you've been in communication monthly, you've been in communication weekly. That's your responsibility, right? Your responsibility to continue to be present, to continue to raise your voice, to continue to find yourself in opportunities to demonstrate your abilities. So, man, I just wish everybody well that's in this space. And if you hear this, let me know. Yeah, Jeff, man, this is on point. Why don't you put something together that we can all use and benefit? Or I'm not sure how to do conversation. I'm a little nervous about talking to people. Or I'm not sure if I can do it. I don't know. I see whatever it is. Hit me up and let's talk about it, man. Because it's so important. If you can't tell, I really enjoy doing this, right? Because I know it works. It worked for me. In my first company I worked for, I think I was promoted every 12 to 18 months for 5 years. Each level, the next level up. And I shifted industries and did the same thing, man. And so it works. You just have to be willing to take the responsibility. Ask for some help. Please let me help you. My information is right there scrolling across there, and I think it's in the chat. And let's begin to change that way you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, and the belief about you, and know that you are meant for more. And don't let anything stop you from reaching your destiny. You know I can't close without saying that. You shall not be denied. Now is the time. Change your world. Change your life. Build that relationship you need. All right. Hope this helps. I'm looking for some feedback on some things that you might feel that helped you and some things that you have some questions about. And let's talk. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.